Welcome back to my channel, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a video, just very quickly. This just in, we have a new Archfiend support card. So we may as well just take a look at it. So we have a equip spell card, and it's called the Archfiend Staff of Despair. So what does this card do, you might ask? Well, you activate it. It's got a hard once per turn on both of its effects, right? So already we might be at a loss. But pretty much what it does is you can only equip it to a monster that you control. And if you do that, you can make your opponent's monsters, all of them, doesn't target or anything, lose attack equal to half of the monster's attack that the card is equipped to. So for example, throw it on an Emperor, then all of your opponent's monsters lose 1500 attack. It is quite significant, and obviously being able to use ARS to search it out, it might not be a bad shout to include it in future deck builds. It's certainly something to playtest. But the other effect as well, if it's equipped to a monster and it gets sent to the graveyard, you can pay 1000 life points and you can add it back to your hand. So really, it's kind of like another Axe of Despair, but with a slightly different effect. So rather than buffing your monsters, you are nerfing your opponent's monsters. So it's quite good if they've got monsters like Dragoon on the field. If you bait out the negate, make all of their attacks pretty much minuscule. This also works for the likes of Borrowload Savage, right? If it's sitting there with 3750 attack, or Axis Code Talker sitting there with like 5000 attack, like you can at least bring it down to something that you can work with. And Archfiends tend to have high attacks anyway, so you might be able to beat over them with that sort of detrimental attack nerf. The extra 1000 attack payment is actually fairly decent, because if you've got the likes of Master King Archfiend on the field, for example, you can pay that 1000, add it back to your hand, and then Master King will say, you know what? You just paid 1000 life points. Let's dump a fiend straight into the graveyard. And what better fiend to dump than obviously Archfiend RS? You get its effect, maybe you want to special summon it or roll the dice, right? But really, just use Archfiend RS's effect to go ahead and search for any card that you like. So not too bad synergy there. Other monsters you might want to dump, Lesser Fiend, right? If you want to have some sort of 5-6 star banishment based deck, you know, it is what it is. You know, you do you at the end of the day. But really, you know, it's just a quick video to show you that we have a new Archfiend support card. It's not the best, but I feel like it should still warrant some playtesting. I feel like there could be some funny Master King shenanigans. And the other card, just very quickly, it's not really a direct support, but it's a light fiend tuner monster, and it's called Amanokujaki. So this card allows you to make sure that all special summon monsters that you control cannot activate their effects with an attribute that's the same as this monster's. So any light attribute monster that's been special summoned can't activate its effects. Most of your Archfiends are dark anyway, so it's fine. But at the end of the turn, you can switch control of your monster to your opponent's, change its attribute to whatever you like, and suddenly all special summon monsters your opponent controls with that attribute cannot activate their effects. So happy days. Unfortunately, what it could mean is you've given a free tuner to them so that they can summon Hackle Vibrex basically on the same turn that they acquire it, right? Which is probably not what you want. You could probably also instantly get rid of it for Verte Anaconda, right? So there's pros and cons to it, but really it's kind of a nice card to have because it's a tuner, and Archfiends don't get that much synchro play, if any, really. So for example, you might want to go into level 7 synchro monsters. So there are Archfiend synchros that exist. So there's Chaos King, for example, the Scrap Archfiend, but no one talks about that. But yeah, Chaos King has that attack flipping effect. That's not actually that bad. You might want to try going into different Archfiends, like Thought Ruler Archfiends, right? You might want to go into Archfiend's Call. So there is some extra synergy there. So let me know what you think. Is this Staff of Despair useful? Can you think of any combos that you might want to use with it in the future? I see the Master King synergy there, but is there anything else that you have thought of that perhaps I haven't off the top of my head? Let me know down in the comments below. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you want to see more of this kind of video, then please subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you get notified when I upload new Archfiend related duels and reviews, combos, that sort of thing. Feel free to have a browse in the meantime, and until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you around.